Welcome back to the show, and now we're getting into our Ray review. And to start the overview, Ray is a 2004 biographical musical drama film focused on 30 years in the life of rhythm and blues musician Ray Charles. The independently produced film was co-produced and directed by Taylor Hackford. The cast includes Jamie Foxx, Kerry Washington, Clifton Powell, Lennix, and Terrence Howard. It had a budget of $40 million and brought in $124 million into the box office and had a 79% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Ray received many accolades, nominations, and was nominated in 6 categories at the Academy Awards. But it started off like, what were your initial thoughts on this being a film that was just an energetic portrait of a great musician's achievements, but also personal shortcomings as well?
Man, first of all, Jamie Foxx was phenomenal in this movie, man. This was up there with Malcolm X,
That
Denzel
portrayal,
depiction of Malcolm X, and then also Ali with Will Smith. I thought Will
yeah,
Smith did a phenomenal job with Ali. So these depiction of these icons is amazing, and I think Ray Charles was like spot on, bro. Like from the mannerisms, from the voice, just like bro, it was crazy, bro.
yeah,
But when you get past that, you like look at the life of Ray Charles and where he came from and what he had to go through and how many hoops and hurdles to be able to go through and being blind and being one of the greatest talents
you've ever
of
had.
music ever seen, man. It's
Yeah,
insane. And it's always good to know about their stories, even their shortcomings, like you said. But it seems like all people in that time were just like this terrible. Even old Martin Luther King.
even good on MLK.
Even old good old MK, man.
Man, but I mean, it is like the honesty in terms of just being like somebody can be talented, but also not the best morally in terms of just decisions, in terms of what is the best for their family. Like, do you feel as though that's just a natural? Even we see with athletes, some athletes don't have the best lifestyle in terms of making the smartest decisions. Musicians as well. Like, do you think that that's just a natural thing that we've there's a rarity that follow kind of like the straight and narrow path, but then there's the majority. You're gonna get those like middle lines and just not the best decisions.
Oh, for sure. Because it's access, right? And
Yeah.
and availability. There so much access when you're on the road, you make bad decisions because it's there.
Mhm.
And it's extremely rare for a lot of ball players to be able to, well, not musicians or whatever, entertainers, I would say, to even doctors or just people in general to make the
Yeah.
right decision, because sometimes it's just access and availability and that temptation of not doing or wanting to do it.
Mhm.
So I think that's why it was so well known back then. A lot of entertainers were into, even they were married, they had other females, they were
Yeah.
dipping in other things, and that's the way of the road. They say beware the road. Availability and access.
Yeah. Definitely. And especially when you're an A-lister like he was, you're gonna get any
Yeah.
option that
Kobe Bryant.
yeah, Kobe as well. Definitely. And now getting to our first topic, from 1 to 4 stars, what would you give it? What would be your particular rating for this and some of your reasons?
I give it 4, man.
Mm,
It was it was spot on, first and
yeah.
foremost. It kept you engaged. It told a great story. Obviously some things were fabricated just to, because it's a movie. It's not always going to be true, but even if it's based off a true story. But I thought it was engaging. I thought it was, obviously it kept you on, not kept you on your toes, but kept you engaged. It was a good movie. It wasn't too long. I mean, the music, the depiction of other characters that were aligned, and then you got mad
Yeah.
in some instances too. Like, man, you gonna do that to the guy who's been with you for eons, for
Man,
years.
that scene was tough.
Yeah, so it was a lot, but I think I give it 4 stars because, and it was shot well to me. I thought it was, especially certain scenes, especially when the brother died. I thought that was a great scene. I thought it was shot really really well,
Yeah.
and I can't do much nitpicking on it because obviously it's not going to be a crazy storyline because it's based off a true story. So you
True.
can't really nitpick a true story film in a way. Only thing you can nitpick is how it was shot and who's the characters. Not the characters, but who's the actors who are playing these characters. How was their performance? And I mean, Jamie Foxx, Kerry Washington, Joe Adams. I mean, Harry Lennix. All these B list, A listers guys did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, they definitely did. I feel as though it's a 4-star film as well. Jamie Foxx, he gives an elite performance. There was tremendous storytelling as well, but you know, it's like you said, it's hard to nitpick a true story because they
Yeah.
really are having to just work with realistic elements and just follow the trail of what happened. Um, Now transitioning to our next topic, favorite character. For me, it's so hard to not pick Ray because this was kind of like the dominant force in the film. He was the one that was it was the most fascinating to see his rise to the top. Um,
Mhm.
Obviously the challenges in terms of just hey like the base like not being able to see finding your way around having having the right team in your circle knowing when you're being shortchanged and getting people out of your circle like there are so many things he had to navigate to finally get to that to the rising cream of the crop.
Right.
Who overall was kind of your favorite character?
Uh, I think, excuse me, I think it was Aretha Robinson, obviously Sharon Warren, who played Ray's mom,
Mm,
but she had a short time in the film, and I think all the scenes she was in, I think she owned them. She
oh
owned
for
them in
sure.
every
Yeah.
sense. But just the overall character and the person she's portraying, I think what a selfless move to send your son, who you can't really do anything for,
Right.
to off to a better place where you get a better education, to able to see what she's good at, because you on this farm and on this in this country you're not going to be able to do much.
Right.
So I thought it was a selfless move by her to send her son to somewhere we can get, have a better chance of becoming something better than what she was in the living situations. And obviously, I mean, I was a big fan of Shane Warren performance, especially when she was with the mom was watching him trying to find places, and that just the overall fear she had when she saw the son in the tub of water.
Right.
Like that's a true scene, true emotional depiction of a mother who's lost everything in a split second. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think her character is one of my favorites outside of Ray.
Definitely. And now getting to most memorable scenes, I had the impromptu edition. Also, Little Ray Goes Blind, the
Hmm.
hummingbird scene, Better
Oh
Deal, also No More Segregation, Stealing from Ray, and then finally a healing flashback.
yeah.
To you, what were the memorable, or some of the one or two of the memorable scenes that you kind of had for this movie?
Oh, every last one of them. Obviously, you always pick the best scenes. I'm gonna pick two that were like miscellaneous scenes. The scene with Joe Adams when the crowd was booing
Oh,
Ray because he was singing the Georgia, come on, all that,
yeah.
and he just turned the lights down and was like
Oh,
did this
bro,
thing. I thought
that
that
was
was such a
amazing.
boss move. He was like, "What you do? What you do with the fans out there?" Like it was like Joe Adams just yeah, that was a dope scene. And then the scene, oh man, what was that scene when come on. You know what? I can't think of it. Never mind. I thought I had it, bro. But that's I think outside of other scenes that you had, that one when he turned the lights down, and that just showed what he was able to do. They introduced that character in a way like, okay, this is something he's going in a different direction, so he's going to need a person who knows what to do, and he
Yeah.
showed that in that scene. Yeah.
Definitely. And now getting to most memorable quotes, I had "She's here, she ain't ever left" from Ray. Also, I'll help you mess up twice, but the third time you're on your own because that's how it is in the
Mhm.
world from Aretha. Also, how
Oh,
could
that's
you
a good
do
one.
that? We've been through so much. We're like brothers from Ray. Also,
Yeah.
if I feel the music, that means it's real from Ray. You don't have to talk to
Yes.
Ray. You're talking to me from Joe. Then finally, how can I pity someone I admire from Della? Um, there were so many pivotal quotes in this one. Um, Also like the one where he's talking about we've been through so much, we were like brothers. Him expressing the hurt he felt from kind of being portrayed, not being told the truth. Because like there were many times in this movie, people kind of betrayed his trust, and took advantage of him. And I thought that was a really kind of pivotal quote there. What to you was kind of like the standout quote in this movie?
Um, the ones that you said, that you said it was. I just had it while you were talking. I was trying. I was trying to pinpoint it. Oh
You're
my
good.
gosh, I feel terrible. Like with the quotes, it's normally I have them queued up, and sometimes I have to find them really quick. Jeez, man, look at there. I can't even. I'm terrible right now,
Nah, you're
bro.
good. Because I was gonna ask a question, but before that, in terms of like um, Jamie Foxx, he is like this all encompassing talent in terms of being able to we did Collateral, um, one of the past movies he was with it, and Tom Cruise. We did a review of that a couple years ago. He really is one of the forces of in terms of being a black entertainer that can just, obviously play the piano, sing, be in different shows, be in movies. He can
Mhm.
really do it all, checks boxes in every category. Like looking at what he's done in his career, what stands out to you and also what keeps him so relevant? Obviously, we do want to acknowledge the fact, you know, he went through a health scare. We definitely hope he's doing a lot better. But what stands out to you when you think of what Jamie Foxx has done in his career?
Obviously, continuing to accept roles is what
Yeah.
keeps him current, but also just being a heck of an actor and having just being versatile in every sense of that word, being able to pick other stars, being able to do roles like action roles like Miami Vice. He was in Miami
Oh
Vice,
man.
doing slave roles like Django, like being able to find different elements of characters and bring them to the screen.
Mhm.
It's even the movie he played as a vampire killer was really good to me, and I thought it was a good. He did a great job in that. So he has so many things in his arsenal as an actor. And at first, obviously, it's all in grounded in being a comedian.
Yep.
That's obviously his first true nature is being a comedian. So
Mhm.
you be in things like Bait or Held Up, the old films when in his career, and you be in stuff like Booty Call and all these other films that get you there, and then you get roles like Ray. Then
Yep.
you get to
More
be in
mature
other
roles.
more mature roles and be able to venture out and show what you can do. I think that's what he's a great actor, man.
This
Great
is.
actor. And going back to the quote thing, it was for Della B. She was like, "If your only your mama was here," and she's like, "She's here. She ain't never left." And
Yep.
then she said, "He isn't my gift to you. He's your son." And I thought that was really dope because, like, you're never here. You're always on the road. One, you don't have a relationship with your kid. Like, you bringing stuff home and buying them stuff is not nearly what they need as a parent, and they want a connection with you. So I thought that was really dope. He's not a gift to you. He's your son.
Yeah.
So
That's so
I thought it
true.
was dope.
Yeah.
So true. But yeah, Jamie Foxx is an amazing actor. He's definitely in my top five of one of my favorite actors. Obviously, that's Denzel, Jamie Foxx, Ryan Reynolds, um, William Defoe, and what's the fifth one? Oh
Samuel Jackson.
crap!
Okay.
I like Samuel, but he's not my favorite.
Yeah.
I think it's Matt Damon.
Bro.
No, no,
That
no,
is
no, no. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. No, it is
Leo?
Matt Damon. Oh no, no, yeah, Leo. I'm
Yeah.
tripping. See,
Yeah.
Leo.
I was
Thank you.
thinking, I was
See,
thinking.
that's what we do. That's why we're here for each other. Thank you, baby. Thank you, brother. Yeah, that's my because William Defoe, man, is we already
Oh
know
my
he's a
goodness, bro.
freaking, especially when he portrayed Van Gogh. Man,
Yes.
what a
Killer
what a
role.
thing that was. That was amazing. But anywho, yeah, Jamie Foxx is in my top five. Great actor.
Definitely. And now just think to kind of like, what did you like the most about the storyline? To me, just the fact that they kept doing the flashbacks to
Yeah,
his mom, acknowledging what he came from, the family, the family trauma that he had, obviously with his younger brother dying, him seeing that was so integral. I think he had really, healed, healed from that. What?
I'm so sorry. I was about to say he didn't see that.
Oh.
Proceed. I'm so sorry. Proceed. Proceed.
Man,
I'm so
I knew one
sorry.
of those was gonna come.
I'm so sorry because I was running the movie in my head. I was like, he didn't see that, and then he went blind after that.
Yeah.
So sorry. Proceed, brother. I apologize for
Nah, you're good.
interrupting.
But just that family trauma that he was carrying, like at the end of the movie, still crying about those memories of his mom, like that was just something that
Yeah.
was still embedded in him. Like, what was the particular element of this storyline that you kind of like the most?
I love the flashbacks. I
Yeah,
love the when find him in the water, like paddling in the water, find it, and then he put it like he find his little brother in the
yeah,
tub. Like I think those moments is why he started using drugs. I think
try
he
to
was
escape.
try to escape and try to and was plagued by it, and then being putting himself in a deeper hole. I think other than that, I just love. I'm a history buff. I'm mining in history, so I love learning about people's story
Mhm.
and their faults and their different triumphs and how good he was as a artist. And at first, it took him a while. And if you're listening and you're doing music and you're listening to the podcast, you look. There's a lot of blueprints. See, Ray Charles was trying to be Nat King Cole, trying to be all these other people, and then when he got signed, he was like, "Yo, we didn't sign you to be those guys. We want you to be who you need to be, like who you are. We want you to create your own
Yeah,
sound." And that's when he created his own sound. Because when you start in music, you try to be all the artists that you listen to,
he just wanted
and
to
then you
replicate
eventually,
Cole,
yes,
King Cole. Yeah.
yes, and then you become the artist that you were always meant to be, or you trying to figure out your own sound. And it's so crazy that you see that in the old generation as well, not just the new generation of people, trying to find their niche or their sound in music, and they're getting it and they just take off. And obviously Ray Charles was, like you said, one of the best to ever do it.
That's what Drake
Crazy.
said, and thank me now. That's your idols become your rivals. You make friends with Mike, the God AI, and for your survival. Like that's
Oh,
true.
off the top, Wellington. Wow, show off.
But get into our last topic 10 years from now. Like, do you still think this will be watchable and intriguing? It has passed the mark in so many different aspects. The Oscar recognition, obviously, we talk about movies
Mhm.
that have gotten Oscar recognition, but they didn't really deserve it. This one absolutely definitely deserved it. It checked every mark that we want to have. Like, what do you think will continue to make this just that watchable, intriguing movie? And that depiction, like we said, that self portrayal and depiction of something that an iconic figure that we still remember to this day.
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx is the reason why you'll watch that film.
Yes.
Because obviously the older generation don't really know who Ray Charles is unless they listen to Kanye West. And then even in that, it's Jamie Foxx singing that track. So it's funny. But man, Jamie Foxx is the reason why you continue to watch that, because you just look in awe of how great he did. And just looking at the old videos and them playing together, playing music together, and seeing how Ray Charles was, and then you look at that movie, like, bro, that is spot on. How
Mm,
many man hours did you spend? And they say, I don't know if it's true, they say he glued his eyes shut
mm,
to stay in character. Or not glue his eyes shut, but they did something where his eyes was always shut so he can be in character. And he did that before they start filming. And I'm like, that takes a lot of discipline to be able to do this role, because one, obviously he's blind, and then you got to do everything like you're blind, because he still had he was playing for real,
yeah.
so it was just like the amount of excellence you have to pick this role, because it's a lot of barriers. Now, as a person who doesn't have the same barriers as Ray Charles, you have to put yourself in his shoes, and to do that, you have to break yourself down, and he did an excellent job. So people will watch this film because how great Jamie Foxx did. And then if you're a music buff, you'll know obviously who Ray Charles is. Hall of
Yeah.
Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, man.
For sure, man. And before we close it out, I mean, the cast, like what we mentioned, Kerry Washington being in it, also, Terrence Howard. Like, was
Regina
there any
King.
other character or actor and actress that you kind of felt as though really elevated the movie? Jamie Foxx did so much, can make it top tier, but was there any
Mhm.
other actor that you felt as though really kind of elevated this movie?
Sharon Warren, we
Yeah.
said earlier. Regina King
Yes.
portraying I think it's Margie Hendricks.
Mm.
She did a great job too, because I didn't know that was the girl who said no. So I think her. And
Man,
that
seeing
scene
that
where
that song actually created.
yes, bro. Don't burn like so then that scene where he was like, you laying in my bed. Like those
Uh-huh.
interactions. And then obviously I can never get her first name wrong. Right. Anjoine, I think it's Anjoine Ellis Taylor, who played Marianne Fisher,
Yeah.
who was the first one before Regina King's character came in. I thought she did a great job too. Sharon Warren, I think that's who. Yeah, I mean, and then Harry Lennix, who played Joe Adams, he's a great actor as well. He's
Yeah.
played in a bunch of stuff. Five Heartbeats, Blacklist. I mean, the list. I mean,
Something else.
Superman. The list goes on.
Yeah, for sure, man. This was this whole movie just man, well
Yeah,
done,
it was.
well done.
I thought it was more than 79%. Rotten Tomatoes be
Rotten
tripping.
Tomatoes. We got to talk. We got to talk one day. We got to talk
Like
one day. We don't get
who?
it.
Yeah,
Like
I want to know
who?
who runs them. Like y'all tripping. This was definitely like 85 and above for sure.
No, they gave Michael Clayton that movie we reviewed about a month ago. They're like 96%, and then Ray, they're like 79, whatever.
That's insane, bro.
Man, the metrics for this are crazy. But that wraps it up for tonight. I'm your host, Winter Burns. I'm my counterpart, Savon Morris. This has been Full Scope. See you later.